I'm not against anybody unless you come at me. There are a couple people in this community with which I have beef. Most people, I'm cool. However, I'm willing to investigate anything and anyone. And you can share with me anonymously your tips at secrets@nobodylikesonions.com. Secrets@nobodylikesonions.com. Coming in through the wires from Tina. I've been sitting on this one a while. It's weird. And it's backed up with a story, which makes it even fucking weirder. Okay, here we go. Hey, Patrick. Subject secrets. Hey, Patrick. Long time, first time. I'm in the comedy scene in Toronto.
Oh, no.
Nobody likes a bragger. And I heard you mention Trixx, a Canadian comic in the scene. He is quite well known for being a huge creep and causing massive turmoil in the scene here. Patrick, is Waldorf going to hit a bong again? I don't know, maybe. He's quite well known for being a huge creep and causing massive turmoil in the scene here. It's a pretty wild story. Here's an article. Anyways, if you're looking for juice, I hope this helps. Happy moving day. Now, I don't know Tina. I've never heard of Tina. It's an enticing email. I know Trixx a little bit. Haven't seen him in years. I've worked with him a little bit. But she said, here's an article. And the article, it's at a little known website called vice.com. So I tend to think it has a little credit. The subject of the article: inside the years-long foot mystery that turned Canadian comedians against each other. That's right. I'm not making it up. This is on vice.com. Frankie Trixx Agamang, I don't know his last name. New stand-up album Undefeated has reopened a dramatic chapter in Canada's comedy scene. Almost all young comedians have feet, and even more of them are desperate for a break. I may be generalizing here, but these are two facts you can pretty much count on, especially in the early days of a comedy career. That was certainly Patrick Coppolino's deal when he first met fellow stand-up comic Trixx. From one Canadian comedian to another, you'll hear the line, Trixx got me. I mean, right out of the gate, that ain't good. When people are walking around in the scene going, Trixx got me. I've been tricked. Okay. It's a nod to an open mystery that's hung over the Canadian stand-up scene for several years, involving dozens of comedians and, yeah, their feet. What began as chatter between friends exploded into a now infamous Facebook thread last year, sparking personal beefs, podcast apologies, and at least one crowdfunder aiming to animate the whole drama as a short film. Exactly what happened is still under some dispute, but the hard-to-answer question is this: why did Trixx promise dozens of comics TV roles, prizes, and personal favors in exchange for what participants understood were videos of their feet? The short answer is exactly what you think it is, But underneath the obvious is a deeper set of questions about fetish, communication, and consent. What have we found? I mean, I don't even know what's about to come out. Why would you trust someone named Trixx? Right. Tricks are for kids. Started nearly 5 years ago with the discussion of a TV role, Trixx told the Hamilton-based rookie comic he had a script nearly ready and a Zach Galifianakis type part with his name on it. He asked me to do these auditions. He said it was going to be strange and awkward to show you're okay in an uncomfortable situation. That's how they always do it, right? Ladies, it's going to be a little weird, but that's just the art. Am I right, guys? Right. This guy's a regular Dan Schneider. Shout outs to Nickelodeon, if you don't know that tale. I think that's the guy, right? Dan Schneider. Is that the Nickelodeon guy who did all the kids shows, but also was super into feet? Right away, Coppolino was taking off his socks in front of his own webcam. Over Skype, he was asked to lie on his stomach facing away from his laptop with his feet aimed towards the camera. According to Coppolino, Trixx would also ask him to do toe snaps, flicking his big toe back and forth against the one beside it. This lasted a couple minutes. They went separate ways, and Coppolino waited for more info on the part. As you would. I really hope I get it. I hope I get it. Coppolino had thought Trixx got the screen test he needed, but the foot-centric auditions didn't end there. I would do the audition thing, the foot thing, and then a day or two would go by and he would tell me, oh, I lost the footage, or we need to do it again. So he'd do it again. He probably got me 4 times before I started to realize something was wrong. For years, Coppolino tried not to think about the role that never came. Somehow, he suspended enough belief not to question his audition, why his audition didn't require lines or even delivered from his Galifianakis bearded face. I knew it was weird, but my buddies would joke that he's got a foot fetish and that it was a sexual thing. But I didn't think it was that strong of a possibility. I had real hopes on getting the gig. Yeah, did you want the gig? Like, wow. The things people do. Like, what? It's really sad in LA. These people, like these actors and actresses, you go on Craigslist, Nathan Fielder built a whole show out of this. Just weirdos who are willing to do anything for a little bit of fame. It's crazy. He says career desperation kept him from confronting the situation head on. I was new to comedy, just over a year into stand-up. A little naive, he said. My girlfriend was pregnant. So it was a big deal for me, and it made me kind of see past any weirdness. Because his girlfriend's pregnant, he's out sucking his own toes. Okay. Coppolino didn't know dozens of other early career comics were having the same set of conversations with Trixx, but only with different variables. Sometimes Trixx said it was a scavenger hunt, and he offered to split the prizes if they won. Other times, it was a guest spot on a show or other professional favor. I started to find out more and more of my friends who had also done it. The same excuse, the video didn't work. Jordan Foisey, a Toronto comedian, that frequent Vice contributor, who went to school with Trixx, remembers feeling jealous of his friends that were in the weird project. This is kind of desperation he was playing on, he told Vice. How come I didn't get asked for a foot video? Oh, man. This guy really had him lining up. In a now legendary Facebook thread full of unrepeatable feet jokes, comics like Coppolino started to come forward to share what happened to them. Some asked if this was all some inside joke. Others pulled on the memes and gags. But once Trixx came into the picture, things got more confusing. Now Trixx shows up. Vice reached out to Trixx to get his account, but he declined to answer questions on the whole thing. It's a closed chapter for me, he wrote. By Coppolino's account, he lashed out at the people speaking up and making light of a strange situation. He was like, what the hell? It was a joke. I can't believe you would do that. Let me tell you something. If you got me to make several videos doing weird shit with my feet, that's on me. I don't think I get to be mad at you. I'm an idiot. Coppolino, more like Copley. No. I love that he got all indignant about it. What the hell? It was a joke. I can't believe you would speak out about it. It would take the better part of a year for Trixx to explain himself, at least in part, what was really going on. The truth of it was, I had a foot fetish, and I came up with a weird way to appease that fetish, he told Julian Dion on his Comedy Hour podcast last fall. I was so defensive and so angry because it's a bunch of people all at the same time coming at you. You're asking people to film feet videos. They're not coming at you. I'm not a bad dude. I'm just a guy who effed up and was effing up for a while. And I need this to I needed this to happen to not only stop, but to see you were kind of a shitty person. Hold on. I'm not a bad dude. I'm just a guy who fucked up and was fucking up for a while. And I needed this to happen to not only stop, but to see you were kind of a shitty person. Oh, so he's blaming like the guy who came out about it. He's like, I guess it's good that this happened because now I'll stop doing the weird feet shit. And also, now I see what a piece of shit you are. It's like, no, you're going around like taking advantage of people. You don't get to flip this on anybody. Also, though, again, nobody got hurt here. It's feet videos. The confession came with some strange caveats. Trixx claims he did nothing sexual beyond looking, and that he never actually pressed, I never inhaled, never actually pressed record across all those Skype auditions and screen tests. Because many of the people were caught up in the controversy, been blocked out by Trixx, Coppolino only learned the details of the admission when I sent it to him last month. At the end of the day, I don't hate the guy. I think he made the whole thing worse by just trying to hide behind the prank excuse instead of just apologizing. It was only a few weeks ago when Trixx released a comedy album entitled Undefeated and announced he was moving from Toronto to Edmonton that the wider comedy community revisited the weird chapter. In his pitch to make an animated short called Defeated, F-E-E-T, comedian Pat Bircher says he's still asked about the foot thing constantly. I'd like to think there's a whole community of people on the internet who are into comedian feet. So this is weird. I look, you know, you got caught. I love the whole like incremental admission thing where people go like, no, it was an audition. Like, oh, I lost the footage. Like, all right, I had a foot fetish. I just went about it the wrong way, asking people to send it. But I never did anything sexual with the footage. Matter of fact, I never even recorded the footage. It's like, what? What? What a weird, like, no one believes you. No one believes you. Now, my experience with Trixx. I think he was a funny comic. We worked together. 2013, I think the end of it is when I met him. He still lived in Canada. But what's this like, Toronto to Edmonton? I think he just moved to Vegas. Or he said he did. Like, you know, I don't have a problem with it, man. Be in defeat, but just own it. Don't be weird. It's weird when you like peel back the layer of your previous lie, but then like buoy it up with some, you know, like, but I never jerked off. I jerked off, but I never came. I came, but I never recorded. I recorded, but I never saved them on a floppy drive. Like, what? Just say what you did. I jerked off to my friend's feet. I tricked open mic bears into showing me their feet. And by the way, you know, I worked with you. I'm a Seth Rogen type. How come I never got asked to take pictures of my feet? Where's my parade? I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't have a problem with him. I think he's very nice. I think I had dinner one night with him and his girl, and they were super nice and super gracious. He seems like a good dude. I thought he was funny. And this, as far as I'm concerned, is a great get and good news. I love a good story. It is juicy, but we've got real child molesters in our midst. And we've got people interacting with child molesters in our midst in Las Vegas comedy, and everybody's just acting normal about it. And we're going to get to the bottom of it right here. Just the onions. Just us onions.